Hey everyone, it's Justin here, Voices for Voices. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode, whether this is your first episode joining us or with you been with us from the beginning. We're grateful to have you with us, whether you're here in the United States or some other territory, country, province uh, outside the United States. We're grateful that you would spend any amount of time with the Voices for Voices family. If you could do us a big favor and give us a big thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, repost, reshare, and even maybe uh, share 25 contacts the Voices for Voices podcast. That would be awesome. We greatly appreciate it, and it helps us get closer and closer and closer to our huge goal to reach and help at least 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. We're glad to have you with us. As I mentioned, just got back from the gym. That's uh, one of the things that I have started to add to my daily regimen. Um, Not that I go every day. Um, I take a couple days off and that um, throughout the week as well. But I've added that into my day on the days that I'm set to work out. I finally got my list of what I was working on certain days. So, whether I was working on chest and back and forearms and biceps and triceps and chests and legs uh and today was an all around day because I forgot. I went back. I I had an off day yesterday, and then I went back. I think it was at least one day, and I think I might have been guessing on the second day. Um, and so I just decided to start with what I have, and I think that holds true with a lot of what we do in life, right? I mean, we don't always remember every single thing. So I remember growing up and. Uh, certain people saying, "Oh, you got to write it down. You have to write it down, or you might forget, or I have to write it down, and that's what I have to do." And I was always the person who was like, "No, I just keep it in my mind, like in my brain. That's what I'll do." And I've reached a point at 44, and probably even before 44 years of age. Uh, Writing things down, it seems like, well, I can remember that. And this exercise of trying to remember what I did, 3, 4 days ago at the gym, isn't always and wasn't always the easiest, and it wasn't. So, uh, I just recommend if that's something that is helpful to you, write it down, put it in your phone, put it in a calendar, put it somewhere uh, to make it easier on yourself. I knew legs were going to be a there are all the workouts are pretty tough. I switch around, I mix machines and free weights and all those things. And and when I was thinking about legs, I was like, okay. I could do legs today, but I was feeling because tomorrow I'm gonna have another off day that I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just do like an all around day, which means just doing a little bit of everything except the legs, because I know the day after tomorrow, legs are gonna be I'm gonna be doing legs and it's a pretty all the workouts are pretty tough, and they're meant to be. I've also included cardio into the workouts. I had a day earlier this week, now that I'm talking, where it was just cardio. Uh, the first week and a half, I didn't do any cardio, and so I'm thinking about how to integrate cardio, at least maybe to just to get warmed up, get my body and muscles and joints uh, the ability to get warmed up before I do any weights. And it's not to do a lot of cardio. It's just enough to get the body warmed up, and so I'll work through that just like anything, right? I mean, no day is perfect, no person's perfect, so we do the best we can, and then come back for the next day. And if it's an off day, then get to relax a little bit more. And if it's not, then let's go to the gym, let's do a workout. And uh, again, I go for higher reps, high repetitions, 10, 12, 15, 25, depending on the machine, as opposed to just trying to either max out, like going one of the highest weight. When I was younger, that was what it was like. All right, I'm gonna try bench pressing this. I'm gonna see what the highest amount. Now I want to just be a little more fit. Yeah, I want to be a little more fit. So on the mental health side, as we as all of our shows, again, if you're new to Voices for Voices, we were founded on the foundation of mental health and trauma and recovery and uh, so many things. Uh, we try to just we try just to be a human being and share and talk, and hopefully again with as many episodes and shows we have, I can almost guarantee that there's at least 20 shows at least. I mean, we're talking about 500, we're close to 520 shows, so 20 20 shows is not that many out of over 500. Um, which is why I asked if you can share our show with some friends of yours, some contacts of yours, because we're for everybody. I mean, I talk about being a believer in God, but you don't have to have the same beliefs that I do and we do at the show. Uh, it's a huge part of what we'll talk about. Um, but you don't have to. We're here to help anybody. We're here to share to help any person that's going through a hard time, who's made it through a hard time, who may be helping others through hard times. Uh, and sometimes, we laugh. I laugh at myself because I'll stumble over a topic or something like that. And so we try to, when we can, have some, lighthearted moments as well. But yeah, on the mental health side, I've I've done just a ton of research, and exercise and that is supposed to be very healthy for mental health. And that's probably another reason. So not, to get toned, my body toned instead of what we would call we're going to get ripped, like the biggest muscles that our body can, handle. Uh, I'm talking more about just getting toned, just yeah, just being toned instead of like having these humongous muscles. Again, and that comes with age. Our bodies, uh, produce less testo. Well, see, there's a funny moment there. Uh, Testosterone in others that they just based off of age, they kind of go down the amount. And so I'm just trying to keep keep what I have and maybe add to it a little bit. Uh, but I've felt a little bit better since I've started going to the gym mental health wise. And I know I've talked a lot about the gym on previous episodes, but that's what right now that's part of my life. And I just got back from the gym. So that's why I'm talking about the gym. Uh, Maybe you're not able to go to the gym. Any type of activity, stretching, if you're able to. I'm not trying to exclude anybody. We want to include everybody. So I'm just giving my, kind of my testimony on on me. And we got, yeah, Lucy's up to her shenanigans here. She got our dog Lucy she got a haircut, and so she's getting used to having a little bit shorter hair. Uh, but even that's been kind of like a blessing in disguise as well, having a pet. Um, I've talked about I haven't had a pet other than a fish, and with our family, we had an outside dog that I can remember when I was growing up. Um, but since then, haven't had one, and so it's getting used to that too. Uh, well, Lucy is a dog and has a dog brain. Uh, it feels like, yeah, she has like a stick and a taste, has a flavor of peanut butter, and so she's going to town on that. But yeah, even that, having a pet, I've done research and looked at that, and uh, again, it just takes a little bit of it takes some time off of the brain, whether it's to laugh or get a little bit upset because she goes to the bathroom in the house instead of outside, and we can go outside and she can go to the bathroom, and then we come right back inside, and then she can go to the bathroom inside. We'll take a walk around the block, and she's just a tiny, tiny dog, 6, 7 pounds. And she probably lost maybe half a pound with the hair, because had decently long hair. Um, but yeah, we go on our walks, and she'll go to the bathroom like 5 times. It's like, there's no way. I mean, as small as she is, I don't, I don't, I don't know. But nonetheless, it's something that's different, and we laugh at or get upset, but it's just another thing to take our minds off of what we try to control the chaos in our mind and our brain and our body, And so that's probably another reason why I brought up the gym. And then I bring up Lucy quite a bit as well, is because those two things, you've had Lucy longer as far as an amount of time than I've gone to the gym. Uh, but not all that really shows is I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to keep progressing. That for years and years and years and years and years and years, I neglected kind of like my physical health as well as my mental health. So the mental health getting a lot of treatment, a lot of attention. Now, my physical health, I'm able to start working on that. And when we talk about feelings, it feels good. Feels good to feels accomplished. Uh, I accomplished something that's beneficial, not just to me and my daughter, my wife, like our family, uh, but to myself, that I was kind of letting myself down by not going to the gym. And I know everything happens for a reason. And I think that's part of the how and the why at this point, or just recently, the gym came into focus for me. Well, yeah, there's been every day there's stress, there's anxiety. Um, that's just unfortunately, at least for me, it just seems like there's always something going on. There's always something that needs attention. We call it like when I worked in, corporate America, or, we call it a fire drill. Like, all right, hurry up. We got to do this because this, executive came in and wants an answer on this particular question. So we drop what we're doing and then we work on that until we finish it. And then we got to go back, right? We got to go back and then finish those other things. And so I was doing that for about like 15 years. And, talk a little bit about the career and career path and all this. That was stressful because I didn't know what was going to happen day to day. And I didn't know where it was going to come from. If it was going to come from my manager, my boss, another department's manager or boss, uh, somebody on our team that was going to reach out. I didn't know. And that was one of the areas where I got burnt out because we talk about the flight or fight, um, or fight or flight, however we want to talk about it or think about it. Uh, you think of having like a day where you go through somewhat of a routine, whether it's brushing teeth, washing face and hands, getting something for breakfast, vitamins, what have you, whatever I don't drink coffee, a lot of people do. And so there's certain routines people have. And then we go into the office or we go to our home office, what have you, and we want to get the things done that we had in our mind or had on our list of, our five projects or five things or three things or one thing, whatever that may be. And so we can intentionally come into work, wherever that may be, whatever the work may be, thinking we're going to handle something that's on our list, only to have these fire drills. The reason why it's called a fire, it's not a real fire drill. It's called that because of the intensity and the emergency nature of we got to drop everything and we got to do this and we got to have it done in like a half hour or something or by end of the day, depending on what the uh what's being asked for. Now, for me, I am having fire drills and we're having things that we got to handle and talk through and work through each day, but it's at least for the cause of helping people, again, with that underpinning foundation of mental health. My organization, our organization, Voices for Voices. So while it is, let's say a fire drill, whatever you want to call it, well, that may be the case. It's at least for something that's meaningful. They say like, oh, you're working for the man or the girl or whoever. And so that's what happens in corporate America, right? You have owners, you have executives and presidents and CEOs and all these people with these huge titles making gobs and gobs of money. I don't even know if gobs is a word, but a lot of money and stock options and that. And then, they say stuff comes downhill. So it starts at the top and just comes down. And if you or hi Lucy, yep, I'm on. We're having a show, so you want to come and be part of it. Yep. Love you too. And and so for the corporate America type of deal, you're working for somebody else in their prerogative. Like we're working for somebody else's mission and vision. But now working for my vision, our vision, mythical creatures around the world vision, so many more, but they all roll up the voices for voices. And so, okay, Lucy, I think you're thinking you're gonna press a key, aren't you? Yeah, you're gonna press the keys, and we don't want you to press the keys because I don't know what you're gonna type, and what if you type something, it might be something. Ah, hey, easy on the fingers there. Um, yeah. Okay. She I know. We're just playing. We're just playing. But when you start using your paws and trying to grab my fingers, I kind of feel like you're not. But okay, Lucy, let Daddy finish the show. Pretty please. Pretty please. Can Daddy finish the show? Can you go over there? Peanut butter. Peanut butter's over there. Uh and so yeah, I'm we're doing it for a purpose. And the purpose is that we want to help a lot of people, and we are helping a lot of people thanks to you, each and every one of you that's tuned in for a second or two, or you've been with us from, episode one, or whether this is your first episode. We welcome one and all. And we are on, as we know, wherever you get your podcasts, you can get the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. Um, so to get back to, since we have Lucy kind of doing her thing, she just wants to be included, and that's okay. Um, and so that mental load, that mental stress, that anxiety, uh, is still there to an extent. but it's for a reason that's bigger than me. You know, I want to reach and help at least 3 billion people over my lifetime and beyond. That's a huge goal, huge number. But that's what I want to do. And I want to do, we've talked about the variety of ways that we want to and we are and um in the coming days, weeks, and months, there will be more that will be revealed. And so whenever there's, I don't want to say like an oh crap or not oh crap, like oh we need to talk about this. We need to handle this by the end of the day, or we need to figure things out. It's for a reason that is huge to me, which is voices for voices, mythical creatures around the world. You get it. It's not for somebody else's bonus. It's not for some company that some executives that they're told, hey, we need to fire a bunch of people or a reduction in force, a RIF, RIF. And and I that caused me so much angst, anxiety, stress, and I wasn't prepared for that. And I started thinking, like, what am I here for? What am I on earth for? Is it to do work for a company that they'll smile and nod and wave one day, and then the next day kind of wave you out the door with a box of your things, if you even get a box of your things. And so that's what I just want to share is how do you stress is going to always be there, anxiety is always going to be there. How do you want your it's not like it's currency, but I'm going to talk about it as if it's, dollars and cents. How do you want to spend your anxiety and stress? Do you want to spend it on somebody else's, like a company that makes something, and maybe they make something really, really beneficial to people? And I'm not here to judge. I'm here to just talk about my experiences and what got me here to Voices for Voices and why I'm so, so passionate about what we do and why we just keep forging our way forward. So how do you want to spend your stress? Do you want to spend it for a company that you may or may not agree with their mission statement? May have a boss that causes burnout. I've had that sitting right next to me. Stands up and I don't even have my coat put away or hung up. I don't even have my computer booted up. There he was, day after day after day after day. We're gonna need this. We're gonna need this. We're gonna need this. And I'm like, all right, when do we need it? Oh, we need this now. I was like, okay. So I literally don't have my coat hung up. My computer's not even turned on. Even if it was turned on, I'm trying to ease into the day. And it's like, oh, no, no, no. Yeah, you got to do that list too, but you also got to do this, and this takes priority. So again, how do you want to spend your anxiety? How do you want to spend your stress? It's like taxes. We're gonna have taxes. Taxes. So yeah, just something to think about. I think it's helpful and constructive to think about these things from time to time, to kind of evaluate what you're doing. Like, are you doing it for a paycheck? Which I'd say a big majority of people are. But like, well, you gotta have this kind of a job. Do you? Some may say yes, some may say no. Voices for Voices hasn't happened overnight. This wasn't something I started yesterday and all of a sudden here we are. It's taken a lot of my own money. It's taken a lot of episodes, a lot of learnings when people take your ideas and take them to their work and then they implement them. So we live and we learn. And we're just so grateful for you to be with us. So thanks for joining us on this show, this episode. Uh, I I say thank you a lot. I truly mean it because there's no show, no podcast without you. There isn't. So thank you very much for giving us a show, a podcast to be able to talk to you, whether you're watching or whether you're listening, whether you're at the gym or whether you're on uh, public transportation, or whether you're driving in your car on your way to work. So thank you very much. Keep keep following Voices for Voices. You're gonna be um, very happy, excited when some of these things start rolling out. So have a great day, and we will see you after you give us the thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, repost, reshare. Pull out your phone, share the Voices for Voices podcast with 25 or 50 contacts in your phone. Let them know. We talk about hard topics, we talk about easy topics, we talk about all topics in between. But the main thing we do is we're as transparent as can be, and we share everything that we can. So have a great day, and we'll see you on the next episode of the show. Bye for now.